If you want to learn about the lightest, quietest, most aerodynamic modular helmet on the market, watch this. Today, we've got the Schuberth C3 Pro.
Thank you, Clint. Thank you, and welcome, Mike. My name is Jason. We're from Schuberth, North America. Mike, I'm excited to talk about the C3 Pro today. Why don't you give us a quick overview on the unique dynamics of this helmet?
Absolutely. So we're really excited to introduce the all-new C3 Pro to North America. The C3 Pro has over 21 new enhancements. Some of the major enhancements are improved aerodynamics, improved ventilation, and an improved fit.
Great. So you mentioned aerodynamics. I can see that the shell of the C3 Pro is different from that of the C3. Tell me what's going on there.
Absolutely. If you take a look at the rear of the shell, you'll notice an integrated downforce spoiler built right into the shell. This downforce spoiler improves the downforce up to 8%, creating a more stable, more comfortable ride. We've also added a really unique chin-barred downforce spoiler. These little fins here actually deflect the air up over the helmet, creating a more aerodynamic helmet, allowing the optimized shell of the helmet to actually cut through the air the way it was designed to.
And by taking the air up and over the top of the helmet, doesn't that affect the buffeting effect that Schuberth's been really good about getting rid of?
It does. With the downforce spoiler on the rear of the helmet and then these two downforce fins here, it keeps the helmet from buffeting. So this helmet was actually tested at up to 240 kilometers an hour. It was designed to remain more stable at higher speeds. So it really is a kind of a sport performance helmet as well. And not only do those little vents or fins allow the air to divert up and over the helmet, but they keep the air from coming down underneath where most of the wind noise is created.
Excellent. I notice if you turn the helmet over, if you look at the bottom, it'll show you how the circumference around the entry port, basically, which closes around your neck, is very small, and that is also to aid in keeping the air from coming up underneath, correct?
That's right. Our neck roll is designed to be as comfortable as possible while sealing out as much air. You'll notice there's no gaps in the material on the neck roll where your ears may be. So sealing out as much of the wind noise and air from the bottom of the helmet is really key in keeping this helmet as quiet as possible. The C3 and C3 Pro are the world's top two quietest, lightest, and most aerodynamic modular helmets available today.
Let's move on to ventilation, Mike. Talk to me about how Schuberth was able to take the ventilation flow from 7 liters per second to 8.5 on the C3 Pro.
Absolutely. On the C3 Pro, we've increased the ventilation in several key areas. The first and foremost, the most important area is here on the top vent scoop. We've optimized the top vent scoop so that it has 2 openings to divert the air into the 2 openings in the EPS of the helmet, so it allows air to flow through more effectively. And then if we take another look down at the bottom of the helmet again, we have an exhaust vent down at the bottom in the neck roll. And for those of you not aware of why we do this, the ventilation is designed specifically to work this way with the exhaust vent in the rear of the helmet, because then it encourages a airflow that goes all the way through the back bottom of the helmet instead of just on the crown of your head. Not only that, but we've added on the back of the helmet something you can't see just by looking at it. There's 2 exhaust ports in the EPS of the helmet there. And what those exhaust ports do is they basically create an active vacuum. This active vacuum helps pull out the hot air a little bit faster and also allows the cool air coming in to circulate faster, keeping you cooler.
Great. So with larger vent holes and then the vacuum effect, like you said, it not only pushes air in, but it pulls it out on the backside, creating 8.5 liters of fresh air per second, which is great.
Yeah, it's a massive amount of air to move.
Massive amount of air. Great. Let's move on to fitment, which is a key issue, something that obviously matters to most people. People's heads are like rocks, not really like spheres, and so for that reason, Schuberth has completely redesigned the fitment issue. Why don't you dive into that for me?
That's right. As you mentioned, the interior liner is 100% redesigned. So we redesigned the materials that the interior liner is made out of. We've redesigned the contours, and we've redesigned the crown liner. So first, the materials that they're made out of. The inside foam on the cheek pads is made out of a comfort foam type material. And then the outer material is a new moisture-wicking, antibacterial, antimicrobial, hypoallergenic, fully removable, and machine washable material that is really, really comfortable to the touch. You really have got to get this helmet on and feel the difference. The contours of the cheek pads have been designed so that they're not as overbearing. They're really, really comfortable. And then we also address the crown liner.
Getting into that right now, I know that we are now using a Coolmax and Thermo cool fabrics. Tell me the difference between the two, and why are we using 2 different types of fabrics inside the helmet?
Absolutely. So taking a look inside the helmet here, Again, there are two materials. The cheek pads are made out of a Coolmax material, which is a moisture wicking material to draw the sweat off of your face. But then the crown liner material is a thermocool material. And thermocool is basically a ceramic infused material that feels cooler to the touch. So that part that's making contact with your forehead and the crown of your head actually feels cool to the touch even when it's really warm outside. So these two materials really help you feel more comfortable. And then addressing the crown liner and what we've done to change that, we've done away with the dual layer winter flap, and we've also improved the 3D seam. So now there's less pressure on the forehead area. Basically, we've increased the amount of material on the forehead so that the soft parts of the material are making contact with your forehead, and then we've removed those seams so that there's not as much overlay on your forehead.
So less obstruction in the front, making for a better fit. Now I know another thing that Schuberth done that's really unique is use the Clasp System. Tell us how we've redesigned this and why that matters.
Absolutely. So there's been a few more changes made to the bottom of the helmet. On the chin strap itself, we've actually made this adjustable on both sides, so you can really dictate where you want the chin strap to fall, whether you want it on your left side, your right side, or right down the middle. We've also moved the anchor points further forward so there's less pressure on your Adam's apple, especially if you have a little bit bigger of a neck or if you're wearing a smaller helmet, you don't have as much pressure right on your neck.
Excellent. And the final thing that I'd really like to bring up, which I know is definitely important to a lot of people, is in the chin area, in the front right here, where we have this removable chin vent piece right here. Tell us how they redesigned this and why.
Yeah, going along with the chin strap, we've also redesigned the hard part here, which is part of our aero skirt, which diverts the air out of the helmet and keeps the helmet quieter. So we've removed a little bit of the material here so that you can have this piece optional. So if you do have a little bit more material in your neck or you have a little bit bigger neck, you can just remove this piece and then you won't have any pressure on your actual neck from the hard aero skirt.
Excellent. I'd like to move on now to another area that's very important, which is visibility. Schuberth has built a lot of what they call passive safety into this helmet. I'd like to go into that. Let's start with the optical class 1 shield and the internal sun visor. Tell us why those are unique in the Schuberth helmet.
Absolutely. So the outer face shield, as Jason mentioned, is an optical class clarity 1. That means it's virtually distortion free, and this is a really big deal for Schuberth. We pride ourselves on the technology and the quality of this face shield. We're one of the only manufacturers in the world that comes with an optical class clarity 1 shield right out of the box. So the outer shield is optical class clarity 1, and then if we look at this, the integrated drop-down sun visor, the integrated drop-down sun visor is something really, really unique. We redesigned this as well, and this now complies to the Australian sunglass standard. It's one of the strictest and most stringent sunglass standards in the world, and it was completely optional. Schuberth does not need to do this standard in order to pass any of the safety sanctioning bodies, but we really wanted to provide the absolute best quality product, so we sought out the world's toughest standard and made the sun visor meet that standard.
So again, on visibility, if I'm hearing you correct, you've got an optical class 1 shield that, again, has passive safety built into it because with a perfectly clear vision, you don't have to overcorrect, your eyes don't get tired, you don't get fatigued. And then with having the internal sun visor, UV protected, anti-scratch on both sides, it's going to also keep the sun, keep your eyes protected from the sun.
Absolutely. These active safety or passive safety features are all about letting you focus on your ride so that you're not distracted and that you can really focus at the task at hand.
Now, another thing that we want to talk about for sure is Aeroacoustics. We know that before the lightest, quietest, most aerodynamic helmet, the C3, came in at 84 decibels per second at about 60 to 65 miles an hour. Tell us what's different about the C3 Pro and why that matters.
Absolutely. So Schuberth has its own in-house wind tunnel where we're able to extensively test the outer shapes of our helmets and what kind of effects they have on a clean wind flow. So the C3 Pro was really, really designed and engineered in that wind tunnel, really making sure that we could optimize, again, not only the aerodynamics, but the aeroacoustics. As you mentioned, the C3 was a really great helmet at 84 decibels of sound. The C3 Pro now has only 82 decibels of sound, so we've shaved off another 2 decibels, which is a perceivable difference to the rider. It's the quietest modular helmet in the world right now.
Great. So correct me if I'm wrong. What is the difference between 84 and 82 decibels? Well, we knew before that at 84 decibels, you could actually preserve your hearing, I believe, for about on a ride of about 6 hours. And what we've got now in the more sports-oriented helmet, which is for a rider that typically would do longer rides at maybe higher speeds where there would be much more buffeting, louder noise. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe now you can go 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, and never experience any type of hearing loss at 84 decibels, or excuse me, 82 decibels.
Yeah, that's correct. It's actually pretty amazing because this helmet technically could be like a work safety helmet if it needed to be. It is something that a person working 8 hours a day, 6 days a week could wear, and it will protect the integrity of their hearing. So the engineering and design that's gone into keeping these as quiet as possible is truly spectacular. There's nothing else like it.
So for going on really long rides or commuting every day, this is something that also gives you a little bit more of what we like to call that passive safety.
That's right. You're not distracted. It still lets enough of the ambient sounds into the helmet so you're aware of traffic and aware of the cars around you, but you're kept as protected as possible.
Now, you are holding a matte black C3 Pro in your hands right now, and some people would argue that that's not very visible. I know that Schuberth is very big on safety. They've built visibility into the helmet itself. Tell me why a matte black helmet still has visibility from Schuberth.
Well, with Schuberth, we're one of the only companies that's doing this, what we call 360-degree reflectivity. It's hard to articulate with regular lights on, but every single sticker on the helmet is a 3M retroreflective material. So the logo here, there's also 2 stickers on the eye port here, and then as we spin the helmet around to the back, the logo here as well, and on the back neck roll. All of these materials are retroreflective, so you have a point of reflectivity on every single surface of the helmet, no matter which angle you're looking at the helmet. This adds in the active safety and passive safety so that other automobiles on the road that you're sharing will be aware of where you are.
And for those of you who don't understand what retroreflective means, it essentially takes the light and sends it directly back, more like a laser than a shotgun, directly back to its source, so that the oncomer can see you much better because more of a concentration of light is coming directly back at the person that's got their lights pointed at you.
That's right.
Excellent. Okay, so we'd like to dive into some of the more interesting features of the C3 Pro. It's a feature we also have on another Schuberth product, which is the S2, and that is the internal dual band antenna. Tell us what that is and what Schuberth's up to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is a huge feature, and this is probably one of my favorite features. It's something that looking at the helmet you would never know, but the C3 Pro has built into the shell of the helmet a dual band antenna. It's an FM antenna and a Bluetooth signal booster, and it goes around the circumference of the helmet on the top inside. What this is it's a dual band antenna that's built to interface with our Schuberth rider communication system. And what it'll do is it'll give you essentially car quality FM signal as well as boost your Bluetooth reception from 300 meters to 700 meters. So it's really interesting because Schuberth is the only helmet company in the entire world that is including a built-in antenna right inside the helmet.
Hello.
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
Hey, Clint, how you doing?
Doing good. Hey, the guys told me you went out for a ride. I wanted to see if you could pick that Schuberth C3 Pro on the way out.
Yeah, I did. I got the C3 Pro. I got the SRC installed on it, and I'm out on a ride right now, talking to you on the SRC.
Man, it sounds good.
Yeah, a little bit quieter. In fact, I just had my music on when you called in. Music's good. Answering the call was a snap. Sounds really great. I like it. It's pretty easy to grab it, even with my gloves on.
Have you tried that new drop-down sun visor on the Schuberth C3 Pro?
It's at a good height for me, and slider's easy to do. It's on the same side as all the SRC controls. It's pretty easy.
Can you hear every word I'm saying?
I'm at about 50 miles per hour, 3,000 RPM. I can hear every word you're saying.
Have a good ride. I'll see you when you get back.
So it's an interesting feature because if you think about it, communications is becoming more a part of our daily life when we're on and off the bike. And if you were to buy a really great sound system for your car, you know that it has a built-in antenna to boost the quality, especially if you're trying to connect to FM radio, which the C3 Pro and the S2 are capable of. So that's a really interesting feature.
Absolutely. And as I mentioned earlier, it's designed and built to integrate with the SRC system. So it's a really nice solution for a built-in communications platform rather than getting a bolt-on outer communications platform.
Let's spend a minute talking about that. I want to point out that on the C3 Pro we have pre-installed the Schuberth Rider Communication System, otherwise known as the SRC system. It is a separate product that you can buy. I'd like for Mike to tell us a little bit about what makes this type of SRC, this type of communication system, different from others.
Yeah, and you know, again, with Schuberth being a really technology-driven helmet company, we wanted this to be the pinnacle of head protection technology. And we not only focus on the safety technology, but advancements in all sorts of other technologies, such as communications. So Schuberth created the Schuberth Rider Communication System. This system is a Bluetooth communicator that you can put right inside your helmet. It does rider to rider, rider to passenger. It can connect to GPS, MP3 player, cell phone, anything with a Bluetooth signal, as well as all Cardo Scholar Rider products. So it's cross-compatible with those Bluetooth products as well. And the thing that's really amazing is that this is designed and engineered to fit inside this helmet. So you're not disrupting any of those aerodynamics or any of the aeroacoustics that we spoke about earlier. So you're really maintaining the integrity of the helmet and all the design and engineering that's gone into it while maintaining the safety, because you're not modifying the helmet at all.
And that's a great point. If you'll notice, the Neckroll that is in the bottom of the C3 actually comes out, and you replace it with the communication system that sort of mirrors the Neckroll. It has the buttons, it's got the battery on the other side. It's incredible in its weight dispersion, and also in keeping the aerodynamics intact by not having anything stuck to the side of the helmet where it can create weight, where it can create more wind resistance.
Absolutely. And not only that, but the thing installs in 5 minutes flat. I mean, it's a really easy installation, no modifications made to the helmet at all.
Now you said Cardo, so tell me, is this the Cardo G4 system, the G9 system? What is built into the guts of this communication system?
This is a Cardo G4 with our own proprietary software. So we do have our own little interface that you can download on your desktop and reprogram your entire SRC system, from radio stations to voice activation and voice calibration. So it's cross-compatible with all Cardo Scholar Rider products, but this is the most closely resembled to a G4.
Most closely resembled to a G4, okay. Yep. And if I do stand corrected, it's got the speakers have been upgraded a little bit from the previous SRC system, I think by 3 millimeters. And then tell me a little bit why having a quieter helmet and better speakers can make for a much, much better experience.
Absolutely.
On this as well.
So we did increase the size and thickness of the speakers and the speaker drivers, so they're a little more powerful. And then we also did make the microphone a little bit smaller, so it's less obtrusive as well, keeping you more comfortable in the helmet. But again, as we spoke about earlier, this helmet protects you up to 82 decibels of sound. So the inside is extremely quiet. When you add the SRC system to that, it doesn't have to work as hard to provide really good quality, crystal clear audio. And so using our system and the quietness of our helmets, we really provide an experience that can't be matched.
Excellent. So just to round it out, we're talking about passive safety, excellent visibility, great aerodynamics, wonderful ventilation, and a communication system that's built into the helmet itself that you can purchase separately that makes your overall riding experience about at the top of its game. Wouldn't you say that's right?
Absolutely. This right now is literally the pinnacle of head protection technology. It doesn't get any better than this. And with over 21 new enhancements, we obviously didn't have the time to go over all of them today, but it's truly worth a look at seeing every small little detail that we've paid attention to and making this helmet really the best helmet it could be.
The Schuberth C3 Pro. Thanks for watching.
Clint, why don't you come in and give this a shot real quick? Let's see how that fits. Now, while Clint tries that on, there's a couple other things that we can point out about the Schuberth C3 Pro helmet. As he closes the chin bar there, it's a one-touch chin bar that's very easy to use. Simply push in the direction of the helmet opening. We'll take a look at a 360-degree view. You can see the points of reflection here, points of reflection there. These are also reflective as well. From the back in a riding position, you get both of those reflective panels as well as the reflective stickers. And then if you can drop down the sun visor for us, Clint, we can take a look at that as well. It's an integrated drop-down sun visor, multi-position. It actually clicks in place as well, so you can keep it at whatever position you want.
Thanks, Mike. We welcome all your questions. You can call us at 800-706-9476 or go to jcmotors.com, get live support, and you'll find out why JC Motors is where riders get deals.